Happy Monday, people.
What's going on, Sketchy Live Monday? It wouldn't be a Monday unless we were late as usual.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah, camera was giving us trouble, and so.
But we got it working.
It's working. So, hey, tonight we plan to do some fun sketching, kind of a tutorial again, just kind of showing you how my process is for drawing different stuff. And then of course we're going to talk about some other stuff. Ity-B's got some
topics to discuss,
some hot pockets to discuss. So it's Sketchy Live Monday, where we draw live and you interact with us, and we can't wait to talk to you and share with you.
Hear what's going on.
Sketchy Live will start here in a sec.
Just a minute.
Monday. What's going on? You can hear me too good.
Can you hear me?
I'm gonna have my mic down.
Yeah, you're gonna have to probably fix the mic switch. Yeah. So we are drawing live tonight, and it is another original design. If you tuned in last week, Johnny drew an original design last week, and that got sent off to Australia, which was cool.
And let's define original design.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
What does it mean?
You tell me.
It means a one-off. It means a one of a kind.
Yeah, it's the piece, and
yeah. It's not I was going to say reproductive. It's not reproduced digitally, although it can be, because there have been a few that you've done that were originals that you've scanned in and we've turned into prints,
or t-shirts or whatever.
Yeah.
So this one is the design itself is kind of a series of this particular phrasing I want to use, and we're going to use kind of a similar character, and we're doing again, we're trying to keep it simple because we're doing like a tutorial thing, and we're hoping to get this done within an hour. A 2D view versus a 3-dimensional, but we're going to still do stuff to make it look 3D.
You're doing this one portrait as well rather than landscape?
Yep, we're going to do it
portrait. Okay.
Yep. So Tantone paper is what we're working with. We've got our mechanical pencil, got my eraser, and of course all my supplies, which is color pencils. We'll ink this in with using a Sharpie, and then we're going to hopefully get in and do some shading with some alcohol markers that are tan or gray tones, and then we'll start adding some color, and then we'll hit some highlights, and hopefully by then we'll have a cool finished piece.
Nice. Well, let me tell you who we've got joining us, because we've got a few people popping on tonight. No Monday Night Football tonight, right? We've got we're not going to have another game until Super Bowl, right? Is that the next?
Super Bowl's the next one.
Crazy. So there should be some people popping in here tonight. We'll see. But we've got Moose Man Diecast joining us tonight. Good evening, everyone. Welcome. Frank Pupello celebrating my birthday and watching Sketchy Life from Walt Disney World. What could be better? Again, this guy is always on vacation. Good for you, man.
Good for you, yes.
Well, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Yeah,
happy birthday to you.
Enjoy that Disney. Happy birthday to you.
We're jealous.
We are.
Riff Driven is joining us. Hi, everyone. Welcome. We've got Lizzie Daughtry joining us from Elizabeth Handmade Jewelry and Crafts from YouTube, tuning in. Hello, my two favorite peeps of the week. We've got Howard Pierpont joining us, 44 and partly cloudy in Mineola, Texas tonight. Welcome, Howard. Always great to see you. He checked in with us earlier and he's like, hey, you guys going live tonight? We hadn't made the post yet, so thanks for the reminder. We've got Rob Earl joining us. Cool. Hey there, Ity-B and Johnny from hot Hunter Valley, Australia, where the temperature is well into the triple digits.
Hey, your clipboard is on the way.
Yes, sir. And then Lizzie said, just to give you guys a heads up, I need prayers right now. Steven's in the hospital. I'll let you know the details. he has an obstruction of the bowels. I actually saw this. Unfortunately, Lizzie, we were at the Kumquat Festival this weekend. I was like, oh, maybe they're here. And then I was like, oh, that's right. They're tending to their son. So sorry we missed you. And since I saw Randy's post, I've been praying for Stephen. So absolutely. I know God will heal him up. Chris Smolinski joining us. Hi, guys. 32 in Detroit last week. Oh, and last week it was 6.
Wow.
So a little warmer. Yeah. A little warmer. Well, I will tell you, it's going to have to warm up quite a bit more in the next month because we plan to be there with y'all. And I don't know if I could do 6 degrees.
Of separation.
Yeah. Lizzie said they have an IV drip, so they're going to see how that works. And they've been there since late Friday night. Yeah. Gotcha. I know it's tough especially when our kids are sick. It's the worst.
Not fun.
No. Diane Kinnery joining us. Hi, guys. Thought you weren't coming on. Glad to see you too.
We had a little technical difficulty with the overhead camera. There's still a possibility that thing might go out. So
if it does, we will figure out something.
Yeah. So in the meantime, I'm trying to move quickly. Yeah. So we're getting our main, just getting our layout. We're doing a really, really light, rough sketching.
Just with regular pencil?
Just regular mechanical pencil. We're just getting the idea of what we want to do out on paper, just to get it there, and then just kind of decide where we're making our way in the world today. Anyway.
Oh, Frank said, actually, boys and girls, I hit the big 7-0.
What?
Who'd have thunk it?
Well, happy birthday.
That's a big birthday, Frank.
That's a big one.
Congratulations to you.
Yeah.
Unique Coaches is joining us. Happy Monday evening. Welcome to the broadcast. Dennis Goff is checking in. Thank you, sir. Chris Molinsky wanted to know if we were coming up for Autorama. That is the plan. We've got about a month to get our merch together and to make our plans. It seems like it's already
get a plane ticket
snuck up on it.
Might have to do that,
Well, that's one of the reasons why we're doing these drawings too. We're generating some sales here, guys. This drawing tonight is going to be available after the broadcast, so we will let you know the details.
We're working to try to get it done.
Yes, we want to get it completed. So let me do. Okay, so I'm on your screen right now so they can see you live. So before we went live, I was thinking, what can we discuss tonight? Because
we're already going to jump into it.
Yeah, I want to. We had gone to, like we said, we went to the Kumquat Festival over here in Dade City in our area in Florida. There was a small car show there. I'd say maybe 30 cars.
You're asking me questions.
You don't know?
No, I don't know.
I don't know. I didn't count the cars. By the time we got there, though, quite a few people had left. So there may have been more. But we went to go see some cars.
They were doing trophies by the time we got there.
Right. So, I mean, usually people hang around for that, though. Sometimes. We didn't bring a vehicle. And you know what I started thinking? I don't know if we discussed this last week, but Rose, we were driving around and there's a water pump issue with her. So Johnny's going to get that fixed, and there's some things we need to do to her. I mean, it's probably not best for us to run her even if it's close to the house. So she is parked for the moment. We've got some work to do. We've got to order some parts.
Got to order parts, and you can't do that with
right. So we're getting that taken care of. And then Kona is sitting out front. It's been chilly here, and I'm going to tell you right now, I'm a little wimpy, and we don't have windows that roll up, and it's a little too cold.
You would not have been doing that.
What do you mean?
Riding in Kona.
No.
Had I suggested any part of that, you would have been too cold.
I would have said it was too cold. So we haven't taken Kona out, but you know what? It doesn't stop us from going to stuff. So I had said to Johnny, he was off this past weekend. I'm like, what can we do that's car related? Is anything going on around? And he's like, well, we don't have a car to bring. And I said, it doesn't really matter to me if there's a car to bring or not. I think going and, he gets some inspiration for some of the drawings that he does. He finds like cool styling cues on some vehicles that maybe he'd want to implement on something that we have, paint schemes, whatever. He looks at all that stuff and is taking it all in. That's the artist in him. He's always looking at that kind of stuff. So I was like, let's just go and see. And we did do the festival. We had a really nice time. It was like, we had never been. And in this little town, there's kind of like a Main Street type thing. It's called Meridian Avenue. And they shut the whole street down, and there's just vendors like every block. There were hundreds of vendors, and it was an all day event. Really,
there
you
was
could
quite
just
a bit of stuff, people there.
plus the local businesses had their doors open. Some places that may have normally been closed were open, and earlier hours, later hours, that type of thing. And it was really neat. I had a great time. I'd love to go back and hit up some of those little shops and stuff that we had gone in and really spend some time over there. There's quite a bit more there than I think I realized, because we've been over in that area before. Bug Jam is over there in that area, and you've been in that several years, and I've come out to see you out there a couple times and never really knew this stuff was out there. So it's a place we definitely want to go back to. The point being, though, is that there was car stuff going on. There was car stuff going on. And just because we have cars doesn't mean we needed to bring cars. There's always stuff to see. We bumped into a friend of ours from the Volkswagen Club that we used to run with here in Florida. And she was, well,
what does that mean?
Because we haven't been running with them lately.
What does that mean we aren't running with them?
Anyway, she was there. Haven't seen her in years, so that was awesome to bump into somebody we knew and catch up a little bit. So you never know who you're going to meet when you go out. So we're just gonna go.
Oh, is this reversed?
We don't, huh?
It's reversed, isn't it?
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. I'm left-handed on this.
Mine is fine. Yours is not.
Okay, as long as the main is.
Yeah, I'm good. So I think whether we have a car or not, we just go. That's my feeling. So that's what we're going to start doing. And there's going to be more. And I'm kicking myself because we probably should have videoed or went live or did something to create content while we were out there, so people could kind of get an idea of what we're looking at out there. And we didn't. So that's something.
Way to go.
Goals for 2025 is we're going to be creating more content. So I've just got to remind myself, and we will get that done so you guys can see what's going on. We've got Sam Metro on the broadcast. Good evening, everyone from Claremont. What do you need, babe?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt your show.
I'm just getting everybody up to speed here. Paul Marziani joining us. Hello. We've got mental diversions. You can go and bring a pad. You are a celebrity. People will love to see you draw. Well, we didn't have time for that, but yeah, I mean, he definitely could. I'm sure people would. Chongo NorCal. Wow, I've been so busy lately that I haven't been able to check in right now on a 12-hour workday. Really miss watching Sketchy Monday. Chongo, we miss you. You know how Johnny loves to say your name.
Chongo
NorCal. Anyway, I hope you're doing well. All right. What are we working on here? Back to you.
Real. Well, we've laid our quick pencil drawing down, and now we're going to start inking in with our Sharpie. So that's all I wanted to let people know.
Oh, all right. Well, thanks for that.
Go ahead and
thanks for that.
Sorry to interrupt your show. Go ahead.
So, like I was saying before we started here, I wanted to get some cool topics to maybe discuss. And when I say cool topics to discuss, this is stuff that I'm like curious about. So I Googled it, and I thought we could probably discuss this. Richard Hahn joining us. Hi from Alpena, Michigan. Welcome, sir. Robert Raymond joining us. What up, Johnny, from the Central Coast?
Nice.
Welcome.
What's up? My old stomping grounds. Central Coast of California.
Maybe California, Robert? Is that where you're from? Wesley Wilkerson said, I'm late. So what are we talking about? Well, we're just getting into something, Wes. You're joining at a good time. But Johnny's...
You've made it to the Ity-B show.
Johnny's drawing. You know what? I felt like I needed to hold down the conversation since you were going to be focused on trying to get this done.
Yeah, but the whole idea was to talk about me doing it as I'm doing it.
All right.
But that's okay.
Well, no, go ahead.
No, you go.
Mental Diversion said, have you all thought about doing comic cons like MegaCon in Orlando?
We've thought about it. I mean, I've thought about it, but I don't know if enough people would. I don't know. I don't know if the Comic-Con folks would even like, why is this guy here? I don't know if that would be the case. Maybe it's a little bit of my own. No, it would be cool though.
You mean like set up a booth?
Yeah, where you go down. Listen, we're a known artist in the community, so
yeah.
I mean, it's just not with the. But I do. In fact, I was working on a Batman piece today, I'm stuck.
Yeah.
Painted myself into a corner.
Hmm.
And so much of it came out cool too, because I did like a Batman and Robin came out really cool, and Batman came out cool, but just so dark, and markers and dark stuff is not always easy to.
Would you be able to scan it in and maybe finish it up digitally?
Yeah, I might have to take and try to start over. I don't know.
Robert Raymond sent from Orchid. So yes,
right on.
He said it's been a minute, bro.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, so the topic that I was thinking about was...
Go ahead with your topics. Did you grab a clipboard?
No. Trending topics in the classic car world was my question. I'm like, what is going on right now? Because we hear all the trending. We talked about trending topics in just the automotive industry and how everything is going, self-driving and electric and all that kind of stuff. But I was like, let's focus in on the classic car world and see what Google has to say.
Oh,
I'm using Google
because Google is an expert when it comes to
it is not an expert, but I figured that's where we'd start.
The community. Go ahead.
So it says that there's a demand for specific models. Some models are in high demand and have increased in value.
What a classic Google thing to say. Hey, let me make a statement that's so vague.
Yeah, it doesn't tell me which ones.
No,
well, it did say that the most popular classic car was a 32 coupe.
It said 32 coupe.
Mm-hmm.
That really hurts me.
Why?
Yeah, okay.
That's what it said. Okay, so another trending topic is
that a Ford? Is that a Chevy?
Ford.
Oh.
It says accessibility for younger generations. There's a shift towards making classic cars more affordable and accessible for younger people.
There's a shift for it?
There's a shift. Meaning, I guess before they weren't making it affordable, and now they're like, you know what?
How is it they're making
we need to make it? I don't know.
Did someone not watch Barrett Jackson or this last weekend? Holy cow!
Yeah.
Where was it affordable?
Those are not necessarily the classic cars that they're talking about. Those are specialty cars. I don't know.
They're classic cars.
And then another point here is attracting new collectors. Efforts are being made to attract new people to the classic car world. Again, don't know what the efforts are.
Cool topic.
I know.
way to bring it.
Classic car market growth. The classic car market is expected to grow in the coming years, is what it's saying. Why do you think that is? Because could it be more and more cars are going to be considered classic? Because really, what makes the classic car?
Well, people, and I used to have an argument with a friend of mine who owned what the heck did he own? It was like it was an early 80s Ford wagon, like escort wagon.
Okay.
And he's like, yeah, dude, this will eventually be a classic. And I'm like, I don't think it will ever be a classic. It's a wagon. It's a Ford wagon. It's a Ford Escort wagon. How's that? What determines that would be a classic?
What determines classic?
Well,
is it just an age, or is it a...
Well, I mean, that's the DMV classifies classics by age.
Right.
But
I mean, in the car world, what years do you consider classic?
Well, there's different. There's classic cars that are. Do you consider a muscle car a classic car? I don't consider a muscle car a classic car. It's a muscle car. Do you consider sports car classic car? I guess me like an 80s, 70s, 80s. I wouldn't consider it a classic car. It's a sports car, and it's an older sports car.
Well, I guess
like a classic sports car would be like a 40s, 50s. I would look at that, or 30s.
So it depends on the person. Is it something you're looking at by age?
What are people's opinions on that?
Well, let's see. Mental Diversion said, I have a buddy that did a few things for cartoons, Phil Salazar, and I met him at a con in San Antonio. So generic. Robert Raymond said, Barra's 100th anniversary at Grand National Roadster Show out here.
Nice.
And that's in Orchid. Hank D.
Not in Orchid, but it's...
Well, he said out here. Oh, maybe just in California. Okay. Hank D said had a good conversation with Bo Van Gogh the other day. I'll have to fill you in soon. Yes, we do need to schedule some time with you, Hank. We want to try and do that this week. Howard Pierpont said, just because you're younger, you should pay less, ? I agree with you. I don't think it should be less. And honestly, I don't think that this is necessarily true or accurate because prices are just going up and up and up.
Yeah.
So why would they make it less expensive?
I don't see where it's less expensive.
I can't imagine. Chongo said, really like the live sketch of pencil and ink instead of all of the tablet. Yeah.
Thanks. That's why I'm trying to do a few more of this kind of stuff.
Something a little
just
different.
To show you some more of that process of, the stuff I normally do on more of a daily is where I'm at work and I'm on my break, and this is the silly stuff I'll do.
Right. Wes Wilkerson said there's a video showing that our elected leader is trying to get rid of old classic and antique automobiles due to their exhaust. Clean air movement, probably. Howard Pierpont said, remember, a 25-year-old car is a 2000. That's true. It's crazy. Right? Mental Diversion said Escort, the new Pinto.
Yeah. Now, and again, Pintos, I don't know. I guess a huge argument we could make for.
Well, Pintos, while they were a new car available, weren't they kind of like a low end car?
Oh yeah, they were affordable.
And now they're sought after, and because they're classics.
I don't know still if a Pinto is really sought after.
No.
I think there's been guys that have taken because they found them cheap at the wrecking yard or whatever, and have turned them into like race cars and stuff like that. They were great. Small like dirt track car, or guys have used them for drag racing.
Rob Earl said, would you think what determines a classic car is how many maybe left that are drivable? Almost like a supply and demand type thing.
Because I mean, if that would mean in, let's say, like considering like the Le Car, remember the Le Car of the 80s or whatever? It was a little, or even like what the heck was it called? Anyways, they were like a 3-cylinder, 2-door box utility car. I don't know. I guess it is in the eye of the beholder, like you said. It's I guess somebody could consider it a classic car.
Yeah.
But if that was, say, the entry of a young guy getting into old cars, and he found something like that and was fixing it up,
you'd have respect for that.
Yeah, I wouldn't be like talking crap like, oh,
your car's not a classic, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather see that than
some of the newer ones. Hank D said prices are going up because of the Cash for Clunkers campaign. Are they still doing that? I didn't even know they were still doing that. That was like, when was that?
That really,
is that COVID?
That put us in a no. Well,
it was before that.
Even before that, they've been doing Cash for Clunkers for a while, and really, as far as the automotive industry, I think it did a disservice in many ways because there was so many good parts, like good engines, transmissions, rear ends, and stuff like that of cars that people didn't know what they had. For the hobbyist who would have looked at those parts and gone, oh my god, I could use that rear end, and I could use that front end, and I could use a trans, and those things got crushed and destroyed. Was
it Cash for Clunkers or Loot for Lemons?
What?
Loot for Lemons. You've never heard of that?
Never heard of that. You just make that up?
No. Doug Giovanni said, did you see the new Volkswagen bus? Hopefully someone will do an engine swap. LOL.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about that last week.
I don't know. I'm not sure if I even like the design of it.
They tried to make it close to what it was.
I just think there could have been. I think they could have got closer to the old bus in design. But it all goes back to the problem is safety requirements. That was probably the biggest one. Aerodynamics, all that kind of stuff, because a bus is a brick.
Yeah.
Just like the Model A. It's not, that thing is not built for aerodynamics.
In comparison, though, the Volkswagen buses of the day versus what they just did, the one that they just did is a bit more aerodynamic. There's a bit of a slant to it.
That's what I'm saying. That's why it doesn't look as much like the old bus. It's because it has to, I'm sure it had to stick to the hey, it's got to be certain,
Right.
whatever.
John Mitchell said we had 2 of them. I'm not sure if he's referring to the Pintos or for the Volkswagen, so let us know. Robert Raymond said, "Hey Johnny, I have an old sketch of yours I really dig. I want to build a model car of it, but I need a
Nice.
front and back view. Would you be willing to sketch a front and back if I PM you a picture of it?"
Yes, PM me a picture.
That'd be fun.
And let me see what it is that you're talking about, and we'll go from there for sure.
That's the problem with this side image, this 2D image, right? You don't know what the front of the back looks like.
Well, it gives a lot of room for
Imagination.
Yeah, imagination.
Mental Diversion said Pintos are good because they can take a small block 302.
Right. So that's what I mean. That's why a lot of those drag racing guys turn those, and they were, small wheelbase, and yeah, a lot of guys used them as drag cars.
John Mitchell said we had the car too. It was a French feel. It came out with it. So from the friend, maybe a French feel design. Wesley said most people don't know it, but most of the old classic and antique automobiles are built better than the new vehicles.
Yeah,
I would have to agree with that.
The materials alone, when you look at the steel that the 30s and 40s cars, 50s cars were made out of versus the steel we're using now, so much better steel.
Oh, just like the thickness of it,
the quality of it, just the quality of there was less material, less things to make the metal itself, so it was more steel in it, therefore it didn't rust as much. That's why that car's still around, because there's so much real steel.
Pure steel doesn't rust
versus all the materials that cars are made out of now that they mix to make it lighter and thinner and
Interesting. Riff Driven said back in the 70s, California defined a classic car as anything over 25 years old.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was my buddy in California who had that Pinto and was like, or not Pinto, but the wagon. He's like, it's going to be a classic. I'm like, registration doesn't make it a classic, dude.
Yeah, that's not.
I was just like, listen, when I'm old enough, because I think we were in like 6th or 7th grade, so it wasn't 80s. I don't know, it was a car where we were like 6th or 7th grade, and we were looking at it, and he's like, "Oh yeah, because I'm gonna get it." I'm like, "That's cool that you'll have a car and stuff. Yeah, it'll be a classic." And I'm like, "That's not gonna be a classic."
Well, you know that I'm an insurance agent. Most of you know, and I do write with Grundy and Haggerty and American Collectors. And the way they have phrased the program now, back in the day, it was a classic car program. Now it's classic and collector car. So
okay. So there you go, collector.
Right.
Somebody who might be want to collect that style of vehicle,
right,
for the nostalgic reasonings or whatever.
I've insured like newer, like when the Zephyr first came out. I have those.
Zephyr first came out,
or the Prowler, like those specialty vehicles.
Okay. Like,
yeah,
Zephyr of the 40s.
No, the new one that's out. I forget the model of it.
Was it Zephyr?
It was called Zephyr.
You sure?
Mm-hmm. You want me to pull it up?
Sure.
And the Spider Zephyr car. Let's see.
I'm trying to think of what it was.
Is it a Zephyr? What brand of car is a Zephyr? Well, maybe that's not it.
Lincoln was the originator of the Zephyr.
Ford Zephyr. No, maybe it's not a Zephyr.
Maybe it's not.
I thought it was.
Well, what do you know?
Well, shoot.
Ity-B didn't have it right.
There is still a used Lincoln Zephyr for sale.
Yeah, what year is that?
That's new. That's what I'm saying. These are newer ones.
Okay, show me.
I don't know. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's the Prowler I'm thinking of. Might be the Prowler.
Chrysler products?
I don't know. I don't know.
Why did you say it?
Hank D said, too bad there wasn't YouTube channels or TV shows that showed people how to work on classic cars so that the newer generation will be able to work on classic cars. We were just talking to, I think, my daughter about this the other day. I don't think this generation really understands. I don't think
not
they,
all of them do.
I don't think they understand the wealth of information that they have available at their fingertips that we did not have. Like ask somebody 17 and under what an encyclopedia is, and I bet you they would not be able to tell you. Maybe I don't even know if my daughter would know, honestly.
Encyclopedia Brown?
Britannica? Is that a place? Sam Metro said, yeah, they are. You could melt down the two front fenders of a 58 Plymouth and make 1.5 Priuses out of it. LOL. Right. True story. Wesley Wilkerson said V8 Vega is better than a V8 Pinto.
Okay. Yeah. Vegas were cool.
I don't know if I know what that looks like. Mental Diversion said Gremlin with a Chevy V8 is better than both. We've got Matt Williams joining us. Welcome, sir.
We've got a war going on.
Mental Diversion said Zephyr is a Fairmont. Ford Fairmont? Is that a Zephyr? So the Zephyr was made by a couple different. Well, I saw Ford Zephyr, and then you were saying Lincoln Zephyr from back in the day, and I saw some old ones, and then I saw a newer Lincoln Zephyr. So right. I don't know.
I think you're just reading stuff.
Yeah, I just made it up.
Pretending you know stuff.
Dan Iyer joining us. Good evening from the high desert of Southern California. Welcome, sir.
The high desert.
So what are you doing now? We've got some ink coming in. I see some Sharpie going down. That's your commitment to the paper right there. Yeah. And we've got, what type of car is this? A little Roadster?
Little tea bucket.
Tea bucket. And is that a skull guy? Mm-hmm. I can't see. I have my glasses on so I can read the words, but then I can't see the picture. Okay. All right. What else does this list say? This
what is this
crazy list of
this
stuff that they're not explaining.
Genius list of Google's say.
Classic car market growth. Okay, we already talked about that. Future classic cars. Some cars are considered to have the potential to become future classics.
You don't say.
You do the math. Yeah. Popular classic cars. Some popular classic cars include the Chevy Corvette, Jaguar E-Type, and Chevy D20. That's what they're considering popular classic cars. Some other topics of interest in the classic car world include
hilarity,
market analysis, collector behavior. What do you think they mean by that?
What do you mean?
Collector behavior, the behavior of the collectors. Mm-hmm. Maybe the collectors are annoyed at these prompts for this topic.
No, I think it's more along the lines of what's happening right now is a lot of vehicles are classic trucks and things are all being brought back in, and LS swaps are being done, and on the old tried and true small block Chevy engines getting pulled out, new transmissions. Stance is a different deal. That may be redoing some chassis stuff, because even the modern chassis that in the street rotting days of the 80s 90s versus what they're doing now with chassis, they're just so much more different, and crazy materials they're using, and different ways of setting things up now. So I think that's a lot of the trending things that are happening, where a lot of vehicles are getting brought back in too, where they were classics that were done, and then now they're getting pulled in, taken apart, re-put back together, repainted, that kind of thing too.
One of the other topics of interest is challenges and uncertainties in the market.
What?
Yeah.
What do you mean challenges? And who is this? Who are they talking about?
I don't know.
Is this for sellers?
I don't know. It just says topics of interest in the classic car world. The role of technology, strategies for investing in the classic car market. Are they talking about investing in purchasing something of your own, or is there like an actual stock market?
I think this thing that you've pulled up clearly is talking about guys that are the high-end collector.
Must be.
Where, it's the Jerry Seinfelds of the world, where that's, they buy and
sell. The Jay Lenos.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, those were the trending
You know, when
topics
they're,
in the classic
for
car world.
instance, just at Kissimmee, Jerry Seinfeld put up for sale the Steve McQueen 24 at Le Mans Porsche, and it's I don't know if it's sold, but the hammer drop, I don't know, because I don't think it made its deal. It was like 25 million.
What?
Yeah. And again, I don't think it made its
that's nuts.
Cell number.
That's nuts.
Yeah, could you imagine?
No.
But that's there's the investment, is that he probably picked it up 10 years ago for $3 million, and people thought, you just spent $3 million on a car.
We've got a slew of car guys on here. Are you guys buying this stuff to hold on to and be like, oh, I can sell this for money later? Like, or are you buying it because you're like, this is a cool car and I want this car and I want to be able to drive this car or do stuff on this car?
Some of them might be, or buying for
maybe
collecting thing.
I don't know. Yeah, that's true. Somebody with a bigger garage than what we have, probably.
Which is most.
That's probably it.
Most people.
Mental diversion said that 99 Mustang has hope yet.
Yeah.
Richard Hahn said, I had a 71 Pinto with a 429 everyday driver, smoked those chefs. Hank D said, I watched a special the other day. Within 5 to 7 years, blue collar jobs will be in high demand. With the way prices are on things, our people are not able to buy new. They need things to be fixed. That's true.
Yeah.
So our mechanics are going to make a killing. Just hang in there. Our body guys are going to make a killing. So what you're saying is that they're not predicting that these things are going to be replaced by robots then, that these jobs are still going to need people.
It's, look at welding. That's a skill.
Yeah.
And you can have robots do specific type of welding. But like when it comes to some repairing type stuff, I don't know if you're going to get the same.
Well, I would think the process
assembly welding versus
the process for welding. Like I watched, my son was doing 3D printing for a little bit, and I watched how that worked. And I would think, like, if you were putting together a car that needed to be welded, that you probably could do it via computer, like you said, but like straight lines and whatnot, because I watched the 3D printer basically do that. It wasn't welding it, but it was building it precisely, from the computer program. So yeah, there's probably stuff like that.
But it still took hands to assemble it afterwards.
Did it?
He had to put it together, like take it apart, take all the materials off.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. To a point.
Oh, okay.
To a point. Richard Hahn said Chevrolet. Mental diversion said, I have a 63 Mercury Meteor. Nice. I never heard of that one. The saving grace is they now make aftermarket panels for them. And see, that's been the coolest part for me to see with you or with us having these older cars, is there are still places like when we were buying parts for the Chevs of the 50s, you used to order from. 40s. Why? We had a 51.
Yeah, I know. But the name of the company was Chev of the 40s.
Oh, was it? Oh, Chev of the 40s. But there are still companies out there making those parts. I mean, even like these Model A parts that you're having to order, they're still able to reproduce that kind of stuff. I mean, it's not.
Yeah, but then you have the problem that I'm running into. Like there's some parts that are like a national back order, and it's been like months. Some stuff has been like
your dashboard light.
That those have been on back order. So some stuff is readily available.
Yeah.
And others they're not, and you almost have to do.
Well, do they consider that a luxury rather than a priority to have the dashboard light? Maybe that's why it's not something that they're racing to make available.
I think it's just manufacturing of it.
Mm. Yeah, it's still cool that after all these 100-year-old vehicles, you can still get parts for.
Yeah,
that's nuts.
And there's somebody out there has one of those in a stockpile somewhere in their garage. That's where getting knowing somebody.
Yeah.
There's always eBay. I'm not good with eBay.
I can remember, what the heck was I looking for? It might have been parts for my Saturn when I had that Saturn.
Your classic car, Saturn?
No, it wasn't a classic car.
Oh, it is now though.
Yeah, really. I remember going
That's a great example. Like, is that a classic car? Would you consider your Saturn?
2002 Saturn.
I mean, it had the 3-door. Come on, it had the 3-door flip out deal. That was pretty.
It had a suicide door in the back.
Yeah, that was pretty cool for its day.
Oh, I was cruising, but I needed some parts for it, and the dealership didn't have them. They were still making Saturns at the time that I had this one. But I had to go to a junkyard to get the part. Like, it was more readily available at a junkyard than it was at a dealership.
How sad is that? That means you got to go get your car out of a wrecking yard, because that's where they all end up anyways.
Yeah, pretty much. Mental Diversion said, investing in classic cars is not a sound financial plan. If you're into it and love keeping old cars on the road, that's the right attitude. I agree. That was my thought. Frank Pupello said, it's looking awesome. Thanks. Sam Metro said, tried finding you guys a dash dome light for your Model A. Apparently they're made of Uno Botanium. None of my contacts had them. I don't know what that is. Well, we're probably going to find something and just fashion it.
Yeah, I'm going to go another route. I'm just going to do what I'm going to have to do, which is to not do.
I mean, it's fine when I'm in the car, because then I just can hold the light for you. But we did find one that's magnetic, which was working pretty well. But with a little bit of the shake and rattle of the car, it like would slip down or fall off, or, it wasn't really staying put, or it was a clip.
Yeah,
so it was a clip.
It's a baseball cap lamp. That's what it was. And I was like, oh, the clip right under the dashboard. So that's why
we need to get one of those grill lights with the.
Yeah, it's magnetic is all we need.
Yeah, it would be one of those lights that has the flexible. Yep. What you calling on it? Oh, Sam said, LOL, unable to obtain. Unobtainium. Oh, gotcha. Yeah. If anyone knows, that's one part that we are looking for. So if you come across a dash dome light for the Model A 1930, that would be fantastic. Let us know.
Let us.
Chop, weld, drive. This seems to be the motto over here at Johnny Jalopy Garage. So we've got it inked in. So you're going back, you're erasing all the pencil lines. Now, do you have to give it some time for that Sharpie to dry, or is it pretty?
It's already dry.
Yeah. So this is on just tan paper. So last week we were working with a clipboard, which was a little bit different material for drawing on.
Yeah, this I have to be a little more careful erasing, because you can do what I've
rip
done,
the paper.
Do what I've done a million times, where I've done a really cool inking, and then I go to erase, and then it grabs and it folds up and pinches, and then there goes your paper. So you gotta be careful. Or like as I'm wiping off, I'll wipe and then I'll grab the corner and it'll be all screwed up. But yeah, there's our guy.
Very cool.
Right, it looks cool.
It does. And so now we're going to do, as your style is, you will go ahead and do this line work, and then you do your shading before you.
Yep, you'll see much.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get ready to put some shading in it now.
Elizabeth is saying, sorry if I missed you guys out at the Kumquat Fest. I'm going to have to catch your replay. You guys have a great night. Yes, please take care of Stephen. We are praying for him. We have fellowship tomorrow night. We'll be praying for him then, and we'll say another prayer on Thursday. So keep us posted. Mental Diversion said he found the interior dome light, fits a 1930 to 31 Ford Model A on eBay.
Yeah.
Did you check over at eBay?
I got to recheck. The last time I checked it, it was the wrong type.
Oh. Well, if you wouldn't mind sending the link over to Johnny's Facebook Messenger, he can take a look at it. We'd appreciate that. Matt Williams said, Iron Trap Garage had an eBay link. You might find something for your Model A there. They get a lot of old car parts. I'll post the link on Johnny's Facebook. Thank you.
I actually have gone to Iron. I follow them on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I'm constantly double checking over with those guys because they are always finding barn finds and tons of different stuff. So yeah, I've been checking those guys out for it too. So, but I appreciate it.
What a sense of community! All these people looking out for you. That's the best part about the car culture. That's one thing that I learned real quick. Really, when we first had a car and we were showing up to some events and people would just come over, it was just like you were automatically family if you were in the circle, if you had a car in the mix. And some people we didn't quite mesh with, but most of them were pretty happy to see us there.
Yeah. So with this gray marker, I'm just putting it because I'm going to utilize it to create some of our grays for our chrome. So I'm putting it a little more heavily in places I probably normally wouldn't do shadow, but I'm adding it as a way to.
Since you got it out, you also do all the grays.
Add a gray tone for the chrome part, anyways.
Okay.
But look how much more 3D that looks now.
Yep. Yeah, you definitely get some dimension. Mike Hicks joining the broadcast. Hicks. He said, just got here. Love you guys. I'll catch up tomorrow. We love you. Can't wait to see you in a couple weeks. Hope you guys are going to be at Autorama as well. I didn't even check in with them. Maybe they're. Yes. I'll have to hit up LDR and see how things are going with him. We miss you guys. Spud Anderson just made it, sliding in right before the end. LOL. Actually, Spud, we started late, so.
Well, and, I also the hour we've been giving ourselves is, really not a true hour for me.
Right.
It's when we start really sketching. So we're still within the time frames here.
Yeah. So you're seeing the start of it. The line work is done. It's been inked in. We're doing some shading now, and then he's going to drop some color and make it pop. Make it pop. Julie's here too. She said, I made it too. Welcome. We love you guys. Jealous of your adventures, but take pictures and post stuff. And
yes, you guys are doing some fun stuff.
Yeah, they always do. Okay. David West joining us from out in Arizona. Hello.
What's up?
Welcome. Rob Earl said tonight's sketch is looking sketch-tastic. I can't wait to get mine. I have a place already to hang it. Nice. Very exciting. We appreciate your support, Rob. So happy that another piece is making its way out to Australia.
Yeah.
Matt Williams said, I have an old magazine I bought from Iron Trap. It's from 1953 and tells how this guy came up with fuel injection.
Oh, nice.
Huh. Yeah, I remember my first fuel injected car. I was so used to having an older car, growing up and driving in the 80s. Did you drop something?
Yeah.
And I remember having to ride the gas and brake, and I'd have to start the car by pressing down on the gas and pumping the gas a bit. And with my first newer car, I didn't have to do that.
Right.
And everyone was like, no, do not do that. I'm like, why? And I still really to this day, I don't understand how an engine works. And I probably just need to watch a video or something.
That could help you.
Just to get up to speed. But I don't really understand.
Maybe I just need to watch a video.
Why the difference? Was it just to give more oomph? I mean, why did they even introduce the fuel injection?
Because it's more efficient.
Getting you from 0 to 60 or just overall?
Gas into the engine. That's what it's all about. Fuel into the combustion chamber to burn. Where a carburetor is spraying fuel into jets and then it falls down into the combustion chamber and then leaks itself off of the intake manifold, dropping into the cylinders, right? And then of course there's the inlet and outlet. But fuel injection is directly injecting fuel into the combustion chamber. So more efficient, more power with smaller engine.
I bet you didn't know he was mechanically inclined, huh? He can do it all. Well, that's interesting.
What do we think how it's coming out?
Yeah, I think people are digging it. I like the green. That really pops. Wow. That looks like the green on our logo sticker.
Mm-hmm.
Almost a little brighter. Very cool. Well, in addition to the classic car world, I had also looked up the hot rod world and what is trending in the hot rod world. So
What's trending in the hot rod world? Ity-B.
it says, in the hot rod world, current trending topics include the growing interest in electric vehicle conversions.
Nope.
A resurgence of malaise era cars. Do you know what that means? Malaise. A focus on carbon neutral internal combustion engine technology. Retro styling aesthetics.
Really?
Overlanding inspired builds.
Okay, that's not hot rod.
This is what it's telling me. And a continued fascination with high horsepower muscle cars, particularly from Dodge. This is what it's telling me. With many builders exploring ways to incorporate modern technology while maintaining a classic hot rod look. So they're considering like EV conversions. More hot rodders are experimenting with converting classic cars to electric powertrains, sparking discussions about battery technology, range, and maintaining the feel of a traditional hot rod. So, I mean, is that kind of what that Volkswagen bus is kind of like? Or are they talking about redoing classic car bodies?
There is a trend where they're taking classic car. In fact, there was just a thing I was watching. It was a full Model A pickup truck, and it was all electric.
Yeah. This says malaise era nostalgia. Cars from the late 70s, often considered less desirable in the past, are now gaining popularity among builders looking for unique projects with potential for customization.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's happening because you've got like a lot of, for instance, in the truck world, the C10 and the before that was the 40s, 50s pickup trucks. There's not many of them left. So now what guys are turning their eyes to, which was an undesirable pickup truck at one time, which is the square body, and everybody thought it was very ugly. Although for wheeling, the square body's always been beautiful. Looks so good. Fall guy, come on.
Right.
But that's now the new trend is like the square body pickup trucks are getting done.
Well, I guess that's what they consider the malaise era, is where
I think
Mental Diversion said malaise Ford Escort.
Right.
David Ayers said fuel injection.
I think malaise is more along the lines of Google got a little malaise on its research of this particular topic.
David Ayers said fuel injection is for more precise fuel metering, which leads to more efficient combustion. Mike Hicks said, give me gas, oil, and grease for sure. Hank D said, now that they found the new lithium deposit under the California fires, they can make even more electrical vehicles. Yeah, right. Oh, did they?
Well, and then also North Carolina.
Is this why the fires were set?
Are you doing?
I can't do the music. That creepy music they play in the background. Here's one. Carbon neutral ICE, ICE. While EVs are gaining traction, there's also growing interest in developing cleaner carbon neutral internal combustion engines. So that's the ICE technologies for hot rods. So how's that different? Internal combustion engine versus...
It's still an internal combustion engine, babe.
So that's still...
They're talking about, that's more the hybrid.
Okay.
You're mixing battery and technology with... That's, I mean, a lot of a lot of car manufacturers now are, from what I've heard, trending is that they're stepping away from full EV and going more to putting their cars on the hybrid technology.
Okay. Retro styling, a trend towards more traditional aesthetics, with builders opting for classic wheel designs, paint schemes, and less extreme modifications. Overlanding influence, and I have seen an uptick in this just in some of the things.
What does that got to do with hot rodding?
I know.
What's overlanding?
It's when you're outfitting it for like camping stuff, no, or for outdoorsy stuff.
What does that got to do?
I don't know. I just think Subaru. No,
That's not a hot rod.
it's not. I know. It says incorporating features and design elements typically seen in off-road overlanding vehicles into hot rod builds, particularly with older SUVs and trucks. I guess. I don't know. Again, not my words.
I guess.
High horsepower muscle cars. These things are never going away. I think these have been popular the entire time. Dodge continues to dominate the horsepower race with models like the Challenger SRT Hellcat and the upcoming electric Charger Banshee attracting attention from hot rodders.
Nope.
No. Do you consider yourself a hot rodder?
Wow, really? Yeah. And what I'll tell you is nobody's going to go for a fake engine noise
as compared to the real deal.
Yeah. That car, that's what it does. It's electric, but it's got this really...
It's electric.
Yeah, exactly. It's got this droning sound that makes it sound like it has a car because out of speakers.
What were we just? We were just somewhere and somebody started their car and it sounded horrible. What was it?
Everywhere?
No, it was just when we were at the Plant City show.
It's terrible.
It was horrible. Rob Earl
Poor
said,
guy.
Oh, it wasn't there. I think it was downtown. Rob Earl said there's a TV show in England that takes classic gas powered cars and converts them to entirely electric cars. Got to say, I'm not a fan of doing that.
No.
Rift Driven said there's a huge lithium deposit south side of Salton Sea in California. David Iyer said hydrogen fuel. It's a byproduct. Oh, its byproduct is water.
Yeah, hydrogen is an interesting possibility of, alternative fuels, and but again, they haven't figured a way to make a lot of money off of water.
I think Doc really had a great idea.
Doc who?
From Back to the Future, that we could just put all of our compost stuff, and that's what powered vehicles, because that would save on so much waste. If we all could just develop a flux capacitor.
It wasn't the flux capacitor.
Flux?
And it wasn't the flux capacitor.
What was it?
It was the Mr. Coffee or the Mr. Fusion.
Oh. Rift Driven said, I recently opted for a hybrid. Full electric doesn't make sense for me. Yeah. We've seen, we go over to the Wawa over here, and there's a huge area of the Tesla hookups, and I really haven't seen any other electric vehicles there. They've always been Teslas. Is there only a special fitting then for Teslas?
Those are Tesla chargers.
Right. But I'm saying, so no other electric car could plug in
a Tesla charger station?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
So then they specifically, it's like what they did with the iPhone. It's a different type of charger cable than for
Tesla,
an Android.
Tesla charger.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, but we're sitting there getting gas. I mean, these people go in, they get food, they're having a whole meal, they're watching movies. Like that's like a mobile living room.
I'm good.
I don't know if I could do it.
I'm good. I'm gonna kill my little baby dinosaurs and burn my fuel.
I think the hybrids, I can see the science behind it, and that would make a bit more sense to me, but I don't think I could ever do a full electric. That's just me. Hank D said they made a lot of money off water in California. I watched a special on that too.
Oh yeah, they sure did.
I bet. Rift Driven said 50 years ago I worked for a propane conversion company.
Oh yeah, actually I had friends back when I was a kid, and they had a full-size pickup truck, and it ran on propane. And it was pretty crazy. Big giant fuel cell in the back of the, so you're driving around a big bomb.
Pretty much.
No, I'm just kidding. It's propane.
Unique Coach has said, I have no desire to drive a vehicle that sounds like a hairdryer. Julie Anderson said, we have had a hybrid for years and we love it. Gas when we need it, battery when we don't. Great gas mileage. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like a hybrid, I think has some benefits to it.
Again, if you're going for, I think when we were having that discussion about it, it has a purpose. So, it's fuel economy and it's less emissions.
Right.
And the carbon footprint of the full battery deal isn't as bad. I think it's still bad. I mean, I think I was watching, I forget what I was watching, something, and it was talking about the the carbon footprint, what it took to make a Prius, for instance, was like way more than a regular petrol burning car.
Right. Well, if anyone is interested in knowing whether you can see these current trending topics in the hot rod world.
Oh, you're going to give Google a shout out?
They're telling us the SEMA show, a major event showcasing new parts and trends in the automotive aftermarket, including hot rod components. Hot Rod Magazine, a leading publication covering hot rod culture, and then the online communities, forums, and social media groups dedicated to hot rodding.
At least they gave the shout outs.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. So some cool stuff coming up according to this AI generated list. So 2025 is going to be fantastic for the car culture.
Yeah, thank goodness. Thanks, Google.
Wesley Wilkerson said Teslas are like apartments and homes, so overpriced that even the wealthiest working class is unable to afford it. When we went to that Plant City show, somebody had brought the Tesla truck, and as much as I just do not like the way it looks, I was still intrigued because I'm like, how does this work? I've never seen one with the back open. Like, and I'm like, how is this a truck? And you're like, oh, the back slides in, whatever, and it opens up the bed. I've never seen anybody drive it that way. I've never seen it used as a truck on the road. Right. Have you?
No.
It's always just been in its large form. And I was like, well, now I'm intrigued. So this guy had it parked, had the windows down so I could see what the cab looked like, which it just looked like the inside of a car. It didn't look like a truck to me at all. It wasn't elevated at all. There was no lift on it. And then the back part, I felt appeared to be very unusable as a truck bed. It really wasn't a truck bed. So
preaching to the choir, sister.
Yeah, I was not fully impressed, but in any case, I digress. Rob Earl said electric cars are the new VHS and Betamax. They don't all fit into each other's stuff. That's LOL. Right. Mental Diversion said, love the work with the pencils over ink. Yeah, this one was a fun one. So where are we at with this one?
We're now putting in our highlights.
We're doing the highlights. Yeah, this is my favorite part. So this is like a little skull dude with the Johnny Jalopy hat, brim folded like he does. We've got the chop weld drive, and you have used that phrase on quite a few of the designs lately because it's kind of defining what you're doing out there in the garage. A lot of guys are. Hank D said, I firmly believe it's good for the market. It shows that other people that have ideas can get into the market of selling cars with different concepts. For sure. I think there's room for everybody. I mean, obviously people are buying these things, so.
Suckers.
He said, but I don't like the push for the agendas to swing everything that way. No, I mean, it goes back to the free will choice. So I think if we, there's going to be people, I mean, it would be wrong to eliminate the gas cars completely.
I'm trying to.
Yeah. But I mean, if they want to allow the electric to come in, great. But there's detrimental stuff happening with that too, that I don't think is fully considered or talked about as broadly,
What do you mean?
How the electric cars are affecting stuff in the world as well.
Well, let's just set the agenda when talked about electric is it's not being shared the realities of its true carbon footprint.
There's pros and cons of everything.
Is there?
Yes. Mental Diversion said, I use the same white pens. Oh, he loves these pens. Where do you get these? Are these just Hobby Lobby too? Yeah. Hobby Lobby has a pretty great selection of stuff. You get a lot of stuff there. They have a pretty good section.
Too.
Yeah.
These are just the jelly roll. I use the classic white gel number 10.
Is the white also non-smearing?
Well, it smears.
Oh, it does.
Oh, yeah.
So you got to be careful.
You got to be careful. Once it dries, you're good, but it definitely will want to smear.
How long does it take to dry? Like regular pen? Yeah. And again, this is on just the tan, like, is it a cardstock paper?
Tantone.
Tantone cardstock.
It's not cardstock. It's tan-tone paper.
Oh, really thin? Okay.
It's not thin. It's tan-tone paper. I don't know the weight of it.
You should have the weight written down somewhere so we know.
You can put it in one of your notes with your clipboard.
Yes, I will.
Or ask Google, maybe.
Maybe.
Sizemore, I think it's paper.
Riff Driven said, let the market decide. Yes, for sure.
You're going to look it up?
What? Tan-tone paper? What's the name of it?
Sizemore or Size?
Sizemore tan-tone paper. Just says you can buy it at Michael's. That's all I'm getting.
Did you ask what the weight is?
It's Strathmore.
There you go. What's the weight?
Toned paper. It's 30% post-consumer fiber, and it contains craft and bark fiber inclusions.
Again, did you ask what the weight is?
No.
Maybe you should do that.
I didn't ask what the weight is. It's 80 pound.
There you go. It's 80 pound.
Well, what's regular paper?
Like 20.
So that's thicker. So, yeah, I'm going to go with cardstock.
It's not cardstock.
How thick's cardstock?
Very thick.
So it's between your standard typing paper and cardstock. It's in the middle. But Johnny likes driving. He likes drawing. He likes drawing on the tan for sure because of this white. Do you find like when you're drawing on the tan that it distorts the colors at all?
Helps it.
Like the blue stays blue even though there's tan under it?
I think it stays more blue.
More so than white? If you draw on white? Really?
I think it enhances it. This is my opinion.
Well, this is the paper that you're drawing on when we go to Autorama. The last couple shows we've done, you've taken a smaller size though, but you love to draw on this stuff.
It's the best. I love Tan-tone. It just, yeah.
So much so that even some of your digital stuff, you pick a tan background.
Absolutely.
Just to make it the same.
Keeping that Johnny Jalopy look.
Oh, you lost your camera.
Oh!
Yeah. And it's just us. That's okay.
Okay.
They can see it when you hold it up here. You were almost done.
Yeah, I'm just going to sign it. Anyways,
okay.
I actually was done.
Oh, well, then that was good timing. So homework this week, new battery for the camera.
No, don't need new batteries. It's going to be charged.
Oh. Well, then we need to charge it.
For some reason it was unplugged. So, other people are utilizing their stuff over by my chargers.
I don't know who.
Earbuds or...
No, my earbuds are in my room.
I guess we changed them.
Always quick to point the finger.
When you pulled them out, you never put it back.
Where is the Autorama you are attending? Mental Diversions wants to know. We are going to be
Detroit,
in the Motor City. Yeah, Detroit Autorama. There we go. There you have it. Chopwell Drive.
That's a very good picture of it.
Yeah, it's not.
It's terrible. Yeah, let me put it up close.
There we go. Hopefully you can see it. It did come out really cool. The original is going to look way better. This looks a little fuzzy. Sorry, guys. Sorry we lost the camera.
Right at the end.
I know. But there you have it. How much are you selling this one for?
$80.
How much?
$80.
$80, guys. If you want it, let us know. Send us a message. First one to respond is going to get it. We'll invoice you, and this will be on its way to its new home. Again, we are trying to raise some funds so we can make it to Autorama with some merch, so we can meet up with you guys and sell some stuff. And
yeah, such a bummer that died like that.
Get the Johnny Jalopy name out there. I know we will definitely have these beanies available. We're going to have some t-shirts available.
Yep, t-shirts,
and
stickers,
original art.
Yeah, I'll be drawing art while we're there too.
Yes,
so come by. I'll be doing some of my 4x6 little droppers. Good deal for those.
Autographs, pictures. We do it all. We do it all over here at Johnny Jalopy.
Well, hopefully you had a good time watching that happen. It's always fun to draw on paper, and this is my process. This is if I was sitting down just to draw a little sketch, you just saw how it happens. So yeah, Anything else? With
Fun
your motor
times.
trends and trends?
No, we had a cool discussion tonight. Thanks for your feedback and interaction with us. It always makes it so much fun to be able to offer this type of format for you guys so we can get to know you. We've developed relationships over this is our 8th year going into this, 8th year, which is crazy. We've been doing this pretty much every Monday night. We've taken a few Monday nights off, but we've got quite a few under our belt. So head over to the website.
We've been here.
JohnnyJalopy.com. We have most of those, if not all of them, available for you to view. So check out some years past. We have the video and then the design at the very end. Most of those designs are still available. Pretty much all of them, right? We can redo all of them.
Yeah.
So go check it out, JohnnyJalopy.com. And we've got some merch over there as well if you want to grab something now.
Cool.
All right.
A little purple in there. For the pop. Purple for the pop.
For the pop.
Sorry that our camera died.
Sorry.
That sucks. But
thanks for tuning in, guys. Yeah. That was a fun night.
Head over to JohnnyJalopy.com. And we love hanging out with you guys.
And we'll see you next week.
Don't forget to stay sketchy.
Stay sketchy. Bye, guys.
Bye.